Dear students and other viewers, hope you are fine. Today we are going to learn graphical presentation of mode. To find out the value of mode with the help of graph, we have to follow certain steps. The procedure for graphical presentation of mode is given in these steps. Number 1 step is to draw a histogram of a given data. Number second step is to identify the highest rectangle of a histogram. Identify the highest rectangle of a histogram. Third step is draw a two diagonal lines of a highest rectangle of a histogram and these diagonals joining the top corner of highest rectangle and corners of next rectangle, that is adjacent rectangle of a histogram of adjacent rectangle of a histogram. And these two diagonal lines, they will be intersecting each other. And fourth step is draw a perpendicular line from the intersection point of these two diagonal lines. Two diagonal lines to the x-axis, that is horizontal axis. That will be model value of given data with the help of this graph. That will give model value, or we can say value of mode with the help of graph. पहले हमें हिस्टोग्राम ड्रा करना है, जो हमने ऑलरेडी सीखा है सेकंड स्टेप में हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना है, देखना है कि जो हाईएस्ट रेक्टेंगल, क्योंकि जो हिस्टोग्राम है इट इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ रेक्टेंगल्स showing value of variable on horizontal axis and frequency on vertical axis। जो हाइट होगी, लेंथ होगी हिस्टोग्राम की, बार, रेक्टेंगल बार की, that will depend upon the given frequency। उसके बाद हमें दो डायगोनल लाइन्स ड्रॉ करने हैं inside the highest rectangle of the histogram, and naturally they will be intersecting each other। और जो डायगोनल होगा वो टच करेगा द टॉप कॉर्नर ऑफ द हाईएस्ट रेक्टेंगल एंड द कॉर्नर ऑफ द एडजेसेंट रेक्टेंगल। उसके बाद हमें परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ करना है इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट से, क्योंकि व्हेन देयर आर टू डायगोनल लाइंस दे विल इंटरसेक्ट ईच अदर। जो इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट होगा वहां से हमें परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ करना है हॉरिजॉन्टल एक्सिस पे या एक्स एक्सिस पे, और वो होगा वैल्यू ऑफ मोड, दैट इज मॉडल वैल्यू। नाउ वी विल डू सम एग्जांपल टू शो graphically the value of mode। फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमारे पास डेटा है एज इन ईयर्स, जीरो टू 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and number of person, that is it is frequency, showing the value of variable that repeats how many times in a given data। Suppose it is 8, 10 and 4. These are the number of persons falling in these age groups, different age groups। Now first we will draw the histogram of this data। On y-axis, or we can say on vertical axis, we take frequency of a variable, that is number of persons in our example, number of persons, or you can write frequency। And on x-axis, or we can say on horizontal axis, we take value of variable, and the variable in our example is age in years, 0, 10, 20 and highest is 30। Now on vertical axis we will take the values of frequency, that is number of persons in our example. The lowest is 4, highest is 10. We will start from 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. To draw a diagram, to draw a graph of any data, we should make use of scale. So I suggest to you, recommend you, whenever you have to draw a diagram or graph of any data, you should make use of scale so that it will be more clear and clean। In a histogram, the width should be drawn on the basis of the given value of variable. If there are equal class intervals, then the width should remain same. If there are unequal class intervals, the width will vary. And its height, its length will vary based on the value of given frequency. That is number of persons in our example. 0 to 10, there are 8 persons whose age lies between 0 to 10 years. 0 to 10, 8 persons. 10 to 20, there are 10 persons. We'll extend this line up to this value 10, and on horizontal axis showing the value of variable 10 to 20 years. 8, 10, and 20 to 30, there are 4 persons whose age lies between 20 to 30 years. 20 to 30, and here it shows the number of persons, which are 4, whose age lies between 20 to 30 years, जिनकी उम्र 20 से 30 साल तक है. फर्स्ट स्टेप हमने फॉलो किया, हमने ड्रॉ किया हिस्टोग्राम of a given data. These are the rectangles of this histogram. हमारा जो सेकंड स्टेप है वो है आइडेंटिफाई द हाईएस्ट रेक्टेंगल ऑफ ए हिस्टोग्राम. यहाँ पे जो हाईएस्ट रेक्टेंगल है वो यह है जिसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी 10 है और एज ग्रुप है 10 to 20 ईयर्स. अब हमें थर्ड स्टेप में 2 diagonal lines ड्रॉ करना है which will touch the top corner of the highest rectangle and the corner of adjacent rectangles, that is next rectangle. This is the top corner of this highest rectangle. We have to draw a line diagonal that will touch the top corner of this highest rectangle and also will touch the corner. This is the corner of adjacent rectangle, that or next rectangle. और यहाँ हमें एक और डायग्राम, एक और लाइन ड्रॉ करना है जो टच करेगा टॉप कॉर्नर ऑफ दिस हाईएस्ट रेक्टेंगल एंड कॉर्नर ऑफ द नेक्स्ट rectangle or adjacent rectangle. This point, this is the corner of this adjacent rectangle. Now these two lines, two diagonal lines, they have intersected each other. This is the point of their intersection. In the next step, we have to draw a perpendicular from the intersection point of two diagonal lines. This is the intersection point. अब हमें draw करना है perpendicular to the x-axis, to the horizontal axis. This is the x-axis or horizontal axis. Now, this point will be the value of mode, the model value, which lies between 10 to 20. Now we will also find out the value of mode with the help of formula z equal to L plus f1 minus f0 divided by f1 minus f0 plus f1 minus f2 multiplied by I. You must remember that in case of mode we ignore the plus minus signs. By inspection, model class is 10 to 20 because it is having highest frequency. That value of variable is model or value of mode which is having highest frequency. By inspection, we have found that the model class is 10 to 20 because it is having the highest frequency among these given frequencies. 10 to 20. Now Z will be equal to, its lower limit is 10 and upper limit is 20, where L is the lower limit. 10 plus F1, that is frequency of the model class, which is equal to 10 minus frequency of the pre-model class, or we can say preceding frequency of the model class. This is the model class, its preceding frequency is 8 F0 divided by F1 minus F0, that is 10 minus 8 plus F1 minus F2. F1 is 10 and F2 is the succeeding frequency of model class, and this is the model class, its succeeding frequency is 4, or we can say frequency of post model class. It will be F2, that is equal to 4 multiplied by size of model class interval, that is 10 to 20, it is equal to 10. Z will be equal to 10 plus 10 minus 8, it will be equal to 2 divided by 10 minus 8, it will be equal to 2 plus 10 minus 4, it will be equal to 6 multiplied by 10. Z will be equal to 10 plus 20 divided by 8. Value of mode will be equal to 10 plus 2.5. Model value or value of mode will be equal to 12.5. Therefore, this point shows the value of mode equal to 12.5. This is how we will get value of mode or model value of a given data with the help of graph. Now we will discuss some merits and demerits of mode. The first merit of mode, the first advantage of mode is that it is not unduly affected by extreme value. Not affected by extreme value. Extreme value is that value in a given statistical series which largely varies from the other values of a variable. But in case of mode, it does not affect and second merit of mode is to describe qualitative phenomena such as to know the consumer's preferences about a particular product, about a particular commodity. And one more merit of mode is that it can be shown, it can be determined, graphically. It can be determined graphically, which we have learned in this lecture. Now, demerits, disadvantages, limitations of mode are: number one, value of mode cannot be always determined. Value of mode, or we can say model value, can't be always determined. In some cases, the mode is ill-defined by model class. And sometimes the mode is not easily calculated. It is not easily located by applying inspection method, grouping method, that is grouping table and analysis table. In that case, we have to take the help of other statistical tools such as mean, arithmetic mean, and median. In that case, we have to apply the formula mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean, which is also the relationship between mode, median, and mean. This is the mode, m is the median, and x bar is the arithmetic mean. This is the demerit of mode. And one more demerit, limitation of mode is value of mode is not based on all given values of a statistical series of a given data. This is the limitation of mode. This is the demerit of mode. I hope you have got all these pointers. Thanks.